Good evening, everybody. I hope you all had a great weekend. And I'm just going to post this link real quick and let's get started. All right. Let's go. All right, last week, we had a decent rally after our Fed Chair Powell mentioned that 0.75 rate hike is off the table, and we had a nice end to the week. But still, we are not out of the woods. We still have quite a bit of work to do here on SPY and the Qs, and quite a few other stocks. Again, we have this 9 EMA as our resistance. This is the SPY we are talking about. We still have this 9 EMA as our resistance, and we haven't gotten above this, as you can see right here. This pink box we had drawn here, which was the gap, which already filled. So I'm going to take it off, and it's done. We did close slightly above our small support here at 400.6, but still we need to get above 404.35, which is your 9 EMA right here. As long as we don't get above this on a daily candle, we will reject this and head back down. So we are not totally out of the woods. On Tuesday at 2 p.m., put a reminder, Fed Chair Powell is talking again. So let's hope he says something positive for the market so we can get through this 9 EMA. If we can get through this 9 EMA here, guys, I believe this time we will see a nice rally up to all the way up to this 50 SMA, which is around 430. So of course, we have a lot of work to do in between, but I'm not saying, in one day we're going to get there, but it's going to be a slow ride up and down all the way up to 50 SMA. But for tomorrow and day after, I would like you guys to keep an eye on this 9 EMA. I'm going to set my alert on it. If you guys remember, you right click on it, crossing up, and we're going to put alert here, go long. All right, so SPY is done, but if SPY breaks underneath this, we're gonna head back down to 395 level and more. All right, let's dig into our tech world. Tech had a nice bounce off the lows here, but again, look where we are stopping. Very close to this 9 EMA. We are still not above that. We do have a small resistance at 303.50. But right after that, we also have this 9 EMA at 304.26. So we do really need to get above this, guys. Without that, again, these rallies are nothing but bear rallies. After we get above this one, we can easily run up again nicely up to this 50 SMA, I believe, to 335. That would give us a nice area again to short this market. But keep an eye on 304.29. I'm going to go ahead and go long above 304.20. We have it set, and let's hit it and see what happens. All right, the next one, I am eyeing this VIX. This is our volatility index. The good thing about this one is it is below 30. So whenever you see this below 30, it's a good sign. All right. We want to see this below 30. We also rejected the resistance at 35 and we reversed back. I believe VIX will come back down to this 50 SMA. As you can see, it has been bouncing above that right here. Right now, we have the VIX 50 SMA at 26.45. This is just to keep, gauge the market, what everybody's thinking for the options traders, for the, the premiums and everything. You got to keep an eye on this one. So I'm definitely keeping an eye on this one. I think we will see a bounce at 26 area on the VIX. So let's see. All right, the next one I am watching are regulars. I keep my list very short and concise because I don't want to, look at 20 different places and get confused. So I keep my list really short when I go into the week. So I look at these biggies at Tesla, Amazon, Google, and etc. So let's start with Tesla here. On Tesla, this weekly, we saw a bounce above the 703. We did talk about this last week, and we did nicely bounce above this. So as long as it's going to hold on to this 703, I believe Tesla can move back up. Right now, it was an indecisive candle on daily on Tesla, so we have no idea where it's going to head. Tomorrow, if it can open above 770, we might see a little bit more push, but I would honestly like to see above 790 for our next leg up to 807, which is your 9 EMA again, which it is still struggling to get above it right here. So 807 is going to be your area to watch tomorrow on Tesla, if it's going to get through that or not. If it can get through, I believe we will see this one head up to 855. But below 858, 758, I would short Tesla. The next one I'm watching is Amazon. Amazon has had a hell of a run, guys. If you guys remember, we talked about this one, 2053. Last week, we drew this line. Look at here. This is our old text right here. Buy Amazon at 2050 has a decent support right here. And we did play this in our room like, God, 6 times. And we made really, really good money on this one. I love this weekly candle on Amazon. Amazon is going to, they are having a split on June 6th. So any dips on Amazon, I believe, will be bought up. So let's look at the daily. Daily, again, the candle looks really, really nice. But again, we want to see this about 2,300. If it can get about 2,300, I believe we see a next rally up to 2380 area, which is right about here. This would be your area of resistance on Amazon, but it'll still have a nice 80 points move if it can get above 2,300, which is your 9 EMA. And above that, it is going to head up to 2,500 easily. So I haven't seen any of the selling come in on Amazon yet. But if we get a dip tomorrow around 2215 area, I would pick up Amazon with a stop below 2200. So let's put our alerts around 2215. I believe even if we go down, I think the futures are pretty flat right now, not giving us a whole lot of direction right now. So short below 2215. And the alert's been created. But if we can get above this 9 EMA, go long, eyes closed. It's going to have a nice run. Google. Google closed slightly above this 9 EMA, which is really, really good. 2311 is your 9 EMA, which is really nice. If it can hold above 2300 tomorrow, I believe Google is going to be the next one, is going to have just a nice run as good as Amazon. So the next resistance on Google we have at 2370, and above that it can run easily up to 2460 area. So I am ready for this one. Let's go ahead and set your alert. Crossing down below this 9 EMA, and it is set. So it's going to notify me if it breaks below that, and I will go ahead and short it all the way down to 2280 area. The next one I'm closely watching is Nvidia. Nvidia I've been watching, and they've been having some call flow come in. Again, look at this. It tried to get above this 9 EMA, but rejected and close right below that. I won't be going long on Nvidia as long as it's below 180. If it can break 180, it's going to have a nice run up to our next resistance at 186.70. So let's go ahead and set your alerts. Go long above 180. And I would keep my stop right below this 9 EMA, which currently it's at 178.20. We might see a slight change tomorrow depending on the market conditions, but it should be around 178. If it goes below that, I would go ahead and close that long and short. The other one I'm watching is Boeing. Boeing, we drew this one. It is at a nice demand zone. If you guys want to go long for a, I would buy a leap on this one with a stop below 115. It is at a very nice zone right here. I would definitely pick up BA right here. On daily, it is going to struggle, but I'm looking at this as a long term. Boeing is going nowhere. Yeah, last week they had a bad news and it fell below, but I think it'll be fine. Go long on this one. And now was the request we had on Twitter. So I'm going to cover this one as well. It's slightly closed above this 9 EMA, which I really like. So if market participates tomorrow, we might see a small run on this one up to 470 area and then 492, as long as 450 holds on service now. Also, a reminder, this week we have a lot of retail ERs like Target, Kohl's, Home Depot, etc., etc. So definitely keep an eye on that. The other one, we had a request for Square. I really like what Square has done here. I was looking at the weekly chart and it has a really nice support here around 82. And look at this weekly candle closed above that 82. So as long as 82 holds on Square, I would go long on this one, that with the target being 94, and then 106 would be your 9 EMA on the weekly. So as long as 82 holds, we are good to go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and look at the questions now. This is all I have, and I'm watching for this week. Are you in any puts currently, or is it too early? Bella, I am not in any puts. No, we are not in any puts. I would like to see tomorrow if we can, on the SPY, definitely I want to see if it can get above this. If not, I would go ahead and short this, and that's when I'll enter those puts. Bella, absolutely. In an anticipation of Powell's speech, we can get up there. But yes, overall, these all are bear market rallies. We are definitely not out of the woods at all by any means. But as I said, this can turn around. Keep your mind open on both sides. Don't just think bear, because just when you think about all that, that's when we get the rallies. So as soon as it turns around, if you get above this 9 EMA, as long as you have that on your chart, guys, you'll do great. Okay, if it gets through that, you will see the upside targets on SPY. The next one is 410, 416, and then 423. These are the short-term targets I'll be eyeing on SPY. Do you guys have any other requests? I'll also be watching this Moderna tomorrow. I love Moderna, playing this one. It's been, it's a nice morning. It likes to open green and then slide down all day. So I would definitely keep an eye on this one. If it breaks 136, I would go ahead and short this one. All right, if you guys don't have any other questions, I'll take your leave. And I am back, and thank you for all the good wishes. I know I was sick with COVID last week and I've recovered. So thank you for all the good wishes. And we'll be doing this every single day now. Look at O. All right, let's look at O. The weekly chart looks really good, but I think it's coming to a resistance here at 68.25 area. If it can get above 70, I would be more comfortable swinging long on Realty Income, which is O ticker. And the other one is RCL. RCL does not look too exciting on this weekly. Let's look at daily if there's any hope. Nope. There's a lot of this is still in a downtrend. Every rally below this 9 EMA will be sold. So 65.50 is your area. If it gets there, I would go ahead and short it. But if we get a close above 66, I would go ahead and long it all the way up to 75 area. Thank you, Chaudhary. All right, folks, this is all I have. Tomorrow, I am planning, if you guys have time, we'll go over some scalping strategies because that's what the market is warranting right now. You know, there are not too many swinging opportunities. So if you set your goal about, you know, around 100 to 300 or whatever, you know, according to your portfolio size, you can scalp that. All right. I'll show you some scalping strategies tomorrow. Let's do that along with our chart. The list was a little bit bigger because we have, you know, I went through the weekly chart. So we'll definitely go over some scalping strategies for you guys tomorrow so you can trade by yourself. SBLK. All right. We'll take this last request real quick. Oops. Starbulk. Starbulk actually looks really nice. On daily, it is above this 50 SMA, and I would like to see this trend break. It is still on a downtrend right here. If you can get above this right here, as you can see, it is rejecting this trend line. But if it can get above 30.50, I would go long on this one. I think this will have a nice run. It's building right now slowly. If you can see, it might take a couple more days. But it will eventually break on either side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 or 5 days, you should have a result, see on which side it's going to break. But overall, it looks really nice. Look at this weekly chart as well. It needs to break above this and it'll head up. Not a bad chart at all. The next resistance would be around 32 area and all the way up to 40. It's going to have a nice run if it can break 30.50 and 32. But below this line, I will go ahead and short it. So watch 29 area for now. If it breaks, your target would be around 28. But if 28 breaks, it's going to head back down to 26s. All right, folks, this is all I have. We'll post the levels as we go along all the week on Twitter. You guys have a great trading week. If you guys have any questions, feel free to message us on Twitter. Have a good one.